Story time on how and why we canceled our wedding, and a taste test on some gluten-free stuff from Glutenfree Goose in Nashville, Tennessee. So Glutenfree Goose is a bakery in South Nashville, like Brentwood area of Tennessee. And so I picked up a few things this morning. I did eat a little bit of it for breakfast, but I got cinnamon sugar pretzel bites, some regular pretzel bites, a sourdough baguette, Pop-Tart, and a oatmeal cream pie. So they make a lot of, well, it's completely gluten-free, and they also carry some, can't think of the word, dairy-free items as well. So my husband and I were originally supposed to get married a year out from our wedding date. So we got married 2024. Wedding was supposed to be 2025. But due to my diagnosis of idiopathic intracranial hypertension, we thought we could still have the wedding. But as things progressed, we realized this might not be too good of an idea. So, first thing that I'm trying, the Pop-Tart. I went and heated it up. Perfect. It's sweet, but tastes like a better version of the brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tarts. So, my husband and I both have very large families, large close families at that. So, having a large wedding just was not in the cards for us with this diagnosis, because I'm affected by sound. Like right now in my PhD program, I'm taking some smaller classes, and I can't really handle 6 people talking in a classroom. So having a 300-person wedding, that wasn't going to be a good idea. So we really kind of fought to keep this wedding going, but as time progressed, we realized I wasn't going to be the main person that was going to really be enjoying the wedding, because I started having more vertigo attacks as time progressed. Things weren't getting better. I kind of thought, okay, maybe through the winter things will get better. And things just started getting worse. The vertigo was getting worse. The headaches were getting worse. I thought that with time and with weather changing, that maybe by May things would get better. And narrator, by May, they did not get better at all. It's regular pretzel. So I had to scrape some of the salt off because low sodium diet, but that was too big of a bite. Maybe I've just been gluten-free for too long. I've been gluten-free for 2.5, almost 3 years. And that tasted like a regular pretzel to me. So now I'm going to cut the cinnamon sugar one. Okay, I'm not going to cut it in half. That's not going to work. I'm going to bite it. Yeah, this tastes like the Aunt Annie's. I call it Aunt Annie's because my grandma called it Aunt Annie's. I'm not calling it Auntie Anne's. It tastes like one of the pretzels at the mall. So far, 10 out of 10. I would go back to that bakery. It's just far out. That was the furthest I've driven, actually. And that bakery is close to where I got my wedding dress from. So we actually had our entire wedding planned. My mother, huge planner. My mom and my aunts were doing largely most of the planning so that I could focus on school. And so we had everything booked, everything put together, and we really kind of waited until the last minute. Not the last minute, but just we kind of wanted to drag it out because I really wanted this wedding to happen. As I've said before, we've had a very rough year, and we were just kind of holding on to the hope that we could celebrate with our family and friends. So we really didn't want to cancel the wedding. But then it got to the point, I think it was my mom, my dad, my maid of honor, my matron of honor, everyone was just like, are you sure? Do you really think? I don't think you should do it. I ended up having to miss a wedding. I had to miss a funeral. It just became too much. So we realized that not only would I not be able to enjoy the wedding, at one point my husband had gone back to town for our tasting. And I realized I couldn't travel for the tasting because I can't fly. Because when you're flying with the popping, that increases the intracranial pressure. So that would have messed me up. So I would have gotten sick on the plane, then having the vertigo with being in the car, and then the dizziness and all of that. I would have been sick the whole time that I was even on that trip. Then I wouldn't have even gotten to enjoy any of the food because of the gluten intolerance, then the low sodium. So it just would have been all bad. Then on top of not being able to enjoy music. I haven't listened to music since October because the bass and all of that sound, that causes a headache. So it was just too much. So we finally decided to call it. And so when my wedding dress was finally ready, I decided to sell it back. And that was a wonderful experience. I got my dress from 11 Bridal in Nashville. And that was a wonderful experience by the boutique owner, because it was hard deciding to sell the wedding dress. I envisioned that day and all of that, but there was a lot of kindness shown to us in moments where a lot of vendors, they really could have just been like, no, here's your money back, or we're not going to give you your deposits back. But there was a lot of kindness shown to us, I think, because of our situation, that I really don't take for granted, because it's been very hard. But I'm very grateful for just a lot of the kindness and compassion that people showed to us in that moment, and having to cancel our wedding. And hopefully we get to enjoy it one day soon. So our venue, they reached out, and they were just very gracious in just doing and handling all of that. Our bartender, he was great about all of that. So it was just a lot of, the paperwork and canceling all of that. I think it was a lot easier than what I expected. Definitely a lot of tears involved with canceling a wedding. But, we're already married. It was a thing that happened. Anyway, the bread. This bread is some of the softest. So soft. I heated it up so that it is warm. I don't really care for butter too much, so I set up some dipping oil. Some dipping oil with basil, oregano, a little bit of pepper and red pepper flakes. So let's see how this bread goes. I want to drive back tomorrow and get another one of these baguettes. This baguette is absolutely delicious. Now, I haven't had a real baguette and real bread in forever. I love bread. I feel like Oprah on that damn commercial talking about I love bread. This bread is incredible. I want to go back tomorrow. My grandmother, she loved to bake, and I've been trying to recreate her rolls, and I've been trying to bake on my own, but it's very time consuming with doing gluten-free baking, because it's very difficult to get it right. Them people over at Glutenfree Goose, they got this shit right. And last, this fat oatmeal cream pie that I already took a bite out of. This oatmeal cream pie is delicious. Like, it's not too sweet. The icing's not too sweet. I wish this place wasn't so far from my house, honestly. Because everything is great. I just wish it was closer to me. Another thing, I don't know why I ordered so much stuff, because I don't have an appetite anymore. Just because of these medications. Because I just started a new medication, and anytime I start a new med, my appetite just completely gone away. So this is my lunch. I will cook dinner so that my husband has dinner before he goes to work. Probably won't even eat it. But this is probably, I might eat another pretzel bite for dinner for myself. But this is probably going to be what I'm going to eat all weekend, unless I freeze it and save it for later. But all of this food, 10 out of 10. But canceling a wedding, not something that I would recommend, but still, the people that I had to deal with when canceling the weddings, they were still great people. Most of the vendors were great, especially my DJ. Really hope to eventually get to work with her in the future and hope that she gets to DJ our